Yo, what's up, you guys? Welcome to Marvel Month. I am definitely excited for this month. You guys know I do love my DC, but Marvel is definitely better in some areas. DC is better in the film. Not the film. Marvel is definitely better in the film area. I'm sorry. And DC is better in the TV area. This is just in my opinion. I have just started watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That show is awesome, but compared to like the Netflix shows to the CW shows, yeah, the Marvel Netflix shows to the DC CW shows, the CW shows are definitely better, but I am going to start watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and binge on that because that show is awesome. Anyway, Marvel has made 20 movies, I think 22 actually. Captain Marvel will be their 22nd movie, maybe 23rd. I haven't been counting. But yes, with that, they have had a plethora of Marvel villains enter and leave the MCU. But there's still a lot of Marvel villains that I think have potential that they have not used yet. So that's what this video is going to be about. This is going to be my top 10 Marvel villains that I want to see in the MCU. Now, yes, I do understand that the Marvel Netflix shows, though I do not like them, are a part of the MCU. So, sadly, we will not see the Kingpin fight Iron Man, unless they miraculously decide to cross over the Marvel Netflix shows and the TV in the, movies. Sorry, I'm a little bit lost today. So if they decide to cross over the Netflix shows and the movies, that would be amazing. And yes, in that case, I would want to see Kingpin go up against Spider-Man. But at this time, it does not seem like that is going to happen. So I'm just going to be realistic and not choose any of the Marvel Netflix villains or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. villains. So, yeah, let's go. Okay, so I know this is cheating, and yes, we have seen the leader twice in the MCU. Once in The Incredible Hulk, he wasn't really the leader, but he was the scientist before he was the leader, and in the Marvel one-shot when Black Widow put him away in prison. So, yeah, but a one-shot, really, Marvel? I think you can do better than that. I mean, this is a pretty big villain in the comics. So, let me explain who the leader is. The leader is technically just a really smart guy. He usually goes up against the Hulk, and I know that Professor Hulk will be appearing soon, so it wouldn't be a too interesting of a battle, but it would just be very cool for the leader to, be like a behind the scenes kind of villain, kind of, pulling the strings, kind of like Baron Zemo was. Like Baron Zemo in Captain America Civil War only really had one big fight scene with the heroes, and they didn't even get to finish it. They had to go away and fight each other again. Yeah, I just think he would be a very good kind of Baron Zemo type villain, in his first movie, and maybe in the second movie have him like gain some Marvel Cinematic Universe kind of powers so that he can go up against the Hulk, because it wouldn't be very interesting, because if the Hulk becomes Professor Hulk in Avengers Endgame, that wouldn't be a fight. That would just be two very smart dudes going up against each other, and that would be cool, but I guess that would be kind of cool, like two, and they would have to use different wits to kind of beat each other in different ways. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. The Professor Hulk versus the leader. That would be pretty awesome. So, yeah, just hope the leader comes back in the MCU and has an actual fight instead of just a one-shot. So, yeah. So with Disney's accusation of Fox, I think that they could bring in a lot more characters into the MCU. One of these being Mystique. Now, I feel that Mystique would be a great villain for the X-Men to fight in the first X-Men movie, or maybe even the second X-Men movie, just because of how big a character she really is. So yeah, just having her fight the X-Men to build up the Brotherhood, because of just how popular she is, and everyone will know who she is whenever she comes on screen, and her powers to turn into other beings. I was trying to think of the word there, like anyone she wants would be a really good power for her, and every time she shows up in cartoons, they use that to their advantage. So hopefully in the movies they will use that to her advantage, to like use that to fight the X-Men, like maybe like turn into Wolverine whenever she's fighting Wolverine, or maybe even like capture Wolverine and pretend that she's Wolverine. And but I feel that that's been done on the shows way too often, the animated shows that she's in. So like if she's fighting Wolverine, she could turn into Iceman and just freeze Wolverine. Or if she's fighting Iceman, she can turn into like Phoenix and burn through the ice that Iceman is using, or whatever X-Men they decide to bring into the MCU, she could use powers, like, you guys get what I'm getting at here. She could, like, turn in the X-Men that counteract those powers and use that to combat the what's being thrown at her. So yeah, I would really enjoy this character. Think she would be a really interesting character to see on screen. I know we've seen her before in all the Fox X-Men movies, but I'd really like to see Disney's interpretation of this villain. Now, I know you all are a bit confused right now, having this low rate of a villain show up this high on the list, all the way at number 7, which I could have put, like, the Taskmaster up here or something like that. But I just feel that this guy would be the closest we'd get to a fight between Kingpin and the Spider-Man on screen, on the big screen, which would be awesome. And if the Marvel Netflix shows and the MCU do not cross over, this would be the perfect candidate for a kind of the next best thing behind Kingpin. So think of this guy as kind of like a lower rate Kingpin. I mean, like, I definitely wouldn't have this guy as like one of the main villains of the movie, but kind of have him like as a, you know what I mean, like a Tinkerer kind of character or a Shocker kind of character. Obviously not having two of him because there's only one Hammerhead. So yeah, this guy's real superpower is he's the leader of the gang, you know. The gang follows him, his every move, so he got a lot of guys behind him, but that's really it. He's, like I said, very low rate Kingpin, and yeah, he carries around a machine gun. I guess that would kind of be a superpower. Yeah, that's really the only reason I have him on this list, just to kind of see a kind of cool little kind of ish Spider-Man Kingpin fight on screen. Alright, my guys, coming in at number 6 is going to be Annihilus. Now, I really do enjoy these next 3 characters on this list, or these next 2 characters on this list. I would like them to be in the Fantastic Four movies a lot. There's definitely a big rogues gallery for the Fantastic Four. You could have Annihilus. One of the characters that you could have in there was Annihilus. Another one could be like the Puppet Man. Another one could be the Skrulls. The Skrulls are already coming into the MCU with Captain Marvel. So they could bring in Super Skrull. They could always bring back villains from the past, like Ronan, who is dead at this point, but resurrections have been done in the MCU before. So, yeah, really would like to see some of those villains in the Fantastic Four movies, but these are my, like, top 2 that I really want to see in Fantastic Four 1 and Fantastic Four 2. So, in Fantastic Four 2, I would like to see Annihilus. Annihilus is a really, really cool villain that I really would like to see in a Fantastic Four movie. I understand why I have him in at this point, because he's been at Fox, but yeah, and he has a giant advantage over the Fantastic Four with all the bug army in the negative zone. So I think that he could like attack New York with these bugs, Avengers style, with the Chitauri and all that. Now that I think about it, this guy would be a really good Avengers villain for the Avengers to fight along with the Fantastic Four. So Magneto could be fought with the X-Men, and Annihilus could be fought with the Fantastic Four, and all the characters at the very end of the Avengers movies will go off against a character that will be mentioned later on in this list, but I do not want to spoil it for you guys. So yeah, let's move on to number 5. Alright, my dudes, coming in at number 5 is going to be the Mole Man. Now, I do enjoy the Mole Man's character in the comics. I know he's not that famous or well known, but yes, I do enjoy the character, and I think he would be a great small scale Fantastic Four villain. So maybe having Mole Man in Fantastic Four 1, and then in Fantastic Four 1 kind of introducing the negative zone, and in Fantastic Four 2 really going deep into the negative zone with Annihilus, and then in Fantastic Four 3 I will explain the plot to that later on in this list. You guys probably know who's already who's gonna be the villain in Fantastic Four 3 or the Avengers movie by now though. So yeah, just think of a Fantastic Four villain. It's pretty obvious who it's gonna be. So yeah, I just think that Mole Man would be a great Fantastic Four 1 villain. He really wouldn't be the guy that the Fantastic Four go up against. The Moloids, his army, would really be the people that he goes up against, and maybe he could make like a giant Moloid like he does in the comics, like out of the ground, and that could be like the final battle of the movie. And then yeah, either have Mole Man run away or get arrested at the end of the movie. Obviously, he's gonna be beat. So yeah, I just think Mole Man would be a really fun villain for Fantastic Four 1. Wouldn't be too hard to make in the world of CGI nowadays, because I feel that he has a really simple design and would be pretty easy to translate over to the big screen. Alright, my dudes, coming in at number 3 is going to be Magneto. Now, I do enjoy Magneto and his character in the comics and his relationship with Professor X and the X-Men and the Brotherhood of Mutants. So, yeah, that would be fun if you put Magneto in a movie. He would not be the only bad guy in the movie. He would have Toad, maybe Mystique, which I had in earlier on the list at number 8. I don't know, I rearranged some things. Magneto used to be at number 8. So, yeah, a little bit of editing there, but yeah, I just felt as I was making this video that I wanted to see Magneto a lot more than I wanted to see Mystique in X-Men movie. So I did think Mystique in her concept would be very cool, which is why she's the only other Brotherhood of Mutant character I have on this list. But yeah, let's just get straight into why I want to see Magneto. It's pretty obvious what movie I want to see him in. I want to see him in an X-Men movie, or an Avengers movie. That was the character that I thought that, the X-Men and that I think that the X-Men and Avengers should team up and fight. That would be a really fun fight, and I really would enjoy a fight with them in a movie. So, yeah. Hopefully they are able to put Magneto into a movie. Hopefully they're able to find a good actor. I know that the Fox X-Men movies did have a really good actor for Magneto, so that is definitely a high bar to set, but I feel that Marvel can do it, you know. They've done so many stuff before. They made an awesome Hela. They made an awesome Loki with Tom Hiddleston. Loki is one of the best movie villains of all time, in my opinion. Right up there with Scar and JD from the Heathers. So, yeah. Really enjoy this character and hope that he gets into a movie. Alright, my dudes, coming in at number 2 is going to be Victor Von Doom. Now, I enjoy, this is just one of my favorite Marvel villains of all time. I think it's a lot of people's favorite Marvel villains of all time. The only reason why he's not at number 1 is because I have a really good, red hair for the next Thanos of the MCU, and I'm sure everyone knows who it is already, but anyway, I really enjoy Doctor Doom. He is my favorite Marvel villain, I've already said that. I hope he gets a Marvel Legends figure soon. I don't know what they're doing. They haven't brought out a Marvel Legends of Doctor Doom yet. They brought out all the Fantastic Four. Let me show you guys. They brought out, I actually have all of them. They brought out The Thing. They brought out Mr. Fantastic. Let's see here. Where are these guys? They also brought out Invisible Woman and Johnny Storm, which I do have, but not out with me at this time. So, yeah, here's Kamala, the girl I wanted to show you guys earlier. I'll make a video showing you guys my Marvel Legends collection, here pretty soon, in this month, if you guys would like that. Anyway, Doctor Doom, what do I think he could do? I think that Doctor Doom could, fight up against the Fantastic Four, obviously, and the Avengers. I really think that this would be a great second Avengers movie, first Avengers movie being Magneto. And I don't know, because I think this character would drive a lot of people to compare him with Ultron, who was the who was the villain in Avengers: Age of Ultron, hence the title, because of his robot army and him looking a lot like a robot. Even though he's not a robot, he looks a lot like a robot. So, especially if they make him like in the 2015 Fantastic Four, please do not make him like the 2015 Fantastic Four, Marvel. Please just give us grace and do not make him like this guy. For an actor for Doctor Doom, I can think of one that might be good, which is Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman was a great Wolverine, and I think that he would be a great Doctor Doom. And for the Fantastic Four, I think that this is going to seem kind of funny, but I think that The Rock would actually make a good thing. Yes, I know that. No pun intended. I actually think that The Rock has done very good. He's a great actor in Jumanji. He is a very funny guy. He's shown that in the past few years. So I think that he would be a great thing. Or Ben Grimm. And I think that Zac Efron would be a good younger Reed Richards if they want to go younger. If they wanted to go a little bit older Reed Richards, I was thinking maybe Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is a really good actor, and he looks the part. And for Johnny Storm, if they don't do Johnny Storm as if they don't do Zac Efron as Mr. Fantastic, which I really don't think they will. I think that Johnny Storm Zac Efron would be a great Johnny Storm. And for Sue Storm, I think that Amy Poehler would be a really good actress for Sue Storm. I don't know why. Those may be some really weird choices. You guys can leave it in the comments below. But, yeah, I don't know why. I just think that would be the perfect kind of comedic duo for the Fantastic Four movies. And they've done drama before, too, so they can work with drama. Maybe a better actor for Ben Grimm would be Ben Stiller. I mean, The Rock would make a perfect Ben Grimm. I was talking about Mr. Fantastic. Mr. Fantastic is a little hard to choose for, but I think Ben Stiller is really a good actor for Reed Richards. Out of those three, I think that Jim Carrey would be the most probable because Ben Stiller hasn't really been acting that much lately. So yeah, on to number 1.